Everything else was whack. I don't know why he did not use his body. He didn't know, like, wrestle the guy, grip him up, bully him. He did not do that. He tried to make it cute, and that was no time to be cute. Yeah, they don't use the size, because you know why? Because a bunch of...
I knew it already. I had been testing him. He's one great him. I saw how his body stood about 168. I'm like, man, y'all crazy. Still, they always talking about size. Still.
¡Que viva México, cabrones! ¡Ánimo!
Now, congrats to Crawford for being the first male to be 3-time undisputed champion. I'm 4-time undisputed, but the first male to do it is Terence Crawford. And against Canelo, oh my. I was nervous, but I knew he could do it.
Just my opinion, I've got no horse in the race. It's like there's no agenda for me. I'm just telling you what I saw and felt at ringside, which was a very close fight.
Derek Chisora's words after Canelo Alvarez's crushing defeat to Terence Crawford cut through the noise of excuses, narratives, and fan debates. And the truth is, he was spot on. What the boxing world witnessed wasn't just a loss. It was the stripping away of pride, aura, and reputation. Canelo, once the red-headed king...
Soft. We didn't throw the double jab. He didn't actually say no one.
He didn't step into the...
He didn't bite his gumshoe and say, no, I'm just gonna...
Who stalked opponents with relentless ferocity, looked like a shadow of his former self. The sharp double jab that once snapped out with menace was gone. The fiery urgency in his combinations had vanished. The bite in his pressure simply wasn't there. Against Crawford, Canelo appeared hesitant, flat-footed.
Folks, we won't win any war right now. If we go to war with anybody, we're going to get our ass kicked. Listen, you box amazing. You knew exactly what you wanted to do. I just feel bad for Daniel right now. But you know what? It was his for him to win it, and he fucked it up.
And unsure in a fight where every second demanded sharpness and clarity. This wasn't the same man fighting to cement his legacy. It was a fighter caught between confusion and desperation. Chisora didn't sugarcoat it. He laid out the painful truth.
He said, I don't want to have egg on my face. I've got to get a job done here. So after the things he said the last time, he knows he probably mugged himself off. I think that probably hurt him more than anything.
Fans didn't want to face. Crawford fought like a man with a master plan, flawless in execution, while Canelo looked stripped of ideas, unable to adapt, unable to shift gears. This wasn't just a defeat. It was an exposure. A champion had the stage to stamp his authority, yet he let it slip right through his gloves. Johnny Nelson dove deeper, arguing that the true damage wasn't just physical, it was about pride. Before the fight, Canelo's words dripped with conviction. He promised domination, warned Crawford of the storm that awaited him. But when the bell rang, those words became chains he couldn't break free from. He couldn't back them up. That failure, the betrayal of his own talk, is what stings most. In boxing, pride can be a fighter's sharpest weapon, but when it backfires, it leaves scars far deeper than bruises. Then came Claressa Shields, raising the dilemma now looming over Canelo's future. Where does he go from here? At 168 pounds, he looks sluggish and flat, unable to impose himself physically. Dropping back down to 154 might...
Never mind the world title fight. When you're losing the fight, full stop, the best thing to do is to dry your tears and crack on. You got to man up. Sometimes somebody just got...
drain him so badly that he loses all effectiveness. Shields nailed it. This isn't just about weight, it's about identity. If Canelo no longer knows where his best self exists, how can he rebuild? Duke McKenzie didn't mince words. Sometimes in boxing you've simply been found out. No bad luck, no controversy, no excuses. Crawford simply had Canelo's number, period. The only way forward now, McKenzie insisted, is for Canelo to accept reality, swallow the pride, take the loss like a true fighter, and move on. Eddie Hearn's verdict reinforced how complete Crawford's performance truly was. He called it history-making. Crawford shut Canelo down completely, defensively smothering his attacks, absorbing his power, and punishing him with precise counters. His footwork, timing, and movement were immaculate.
Perfectly right, boxed the absolute perfect fight, and fully deserved the victory. I know some people felt it was a close fight, but I just felt that he was the better fighter on the night. Beautiful defense. Arm will be sore tomorrow, but took so much on the gloves, boxed beautifully offensively, used his footwork great. His engine was incredible, hardly looked like he broke a sweat.
At no point did he seem in danger. This wasn't just a win, it was a tactical schooling. The kind of masterclass fans will remember as a one-sided showcase of brilliance. Crawford didn't just beat Canelo, he exposed his limitations. Big John summed it up with one word: unbelievable. Nobody expected Crawford to dominate for 12 rounds at a higher weight against one of boxing's most seasoned champions. Yet not only did Bud survive at 168, he thrived. He nullified Canelo's supposed size advantage, matched his physicality, and layered his superior skill on top of it. Every time Canelo pressed forward, Crawford had an answer: crisp jabs, slick counters, masterful defense. What made the performance remarkable was Crawford's ability to turn disadvantages, his smaller frame, lighter natural weight, into opportunities to highlight his adaptability.
I didn't think he'd be able to keep it on the whole fight, and he did. You know, credit to Canelo, kept coming forward, kept trying, but he just met a better man tonight. And when you think of the weight difference, what he's had to make up, Terence Crawford showed his class tonight.
Do you think Canelo should retire after that?
We're just talking about that. I think whether he's got to retire or not, I don't know, but I wouldn't like to see him fight Crawford again.
Do you think Terence Crawford may be the generational great man?
Well, he's just proved he's definitely up.
The smaller man made the bigger man look ordinary. When Canelo finally spoke after the fight, there was no fire, no bold demands for a rematch, no promises of redemption. Instead, he leaned on his legacy, his past achievements, his historic fights, his reputation. His words felt less like a warrior ready to rise again and more like a man softening the blow of defeat. It was as if he understood the mountain was too steep to climb this time. Against Crawford, he wasn't just physically beaten, he was mentally dismantled. His pride, once his greatest weapon, had been dulled beyond recognition. Crawford's reaction was strikingly calm. He laughed, not in arrogance but in quiet satisfaction. It was the laugh of a man who had finally seen his destiny fulfilled. Years of discipline, sacrifice, and relentless pursuit of greatness had all led to this moment. That
him. I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I am still taking risks because I love.
Laugh wasn't meant to belittle Canelo. It was a release, a way of saying his talent had spoken louder than words ever could. On this night, Crawford didn't just win. He proved he was untouchable. Against one of boxing's biggest global superstars, he wasn't just better. He was on another level entirely. Now all eyes turn to what comes next for the undisputed king. Gopa voiced the question on every fan's mind: does Crawford retire now on top of the mountain untouchable? On one hand, walking away now would immortalize his legacy. He'd leave as the man who humbled Canelo, unified divisions, and exited at the absolute peak of his powers. On the other hand, Crawford shows no signs of slowing down. His body remains fresh, his mind sharp, his hunger undiminished. Whether he chooses to retire or continue, one thing is certain: this night will be remembered as the moment Terence Bud Crawford didn't just conquer Canelo Alvarez, he conquered the entire boxing.
All praise to the Lord above me. I gotta give him all the praise, because without him, I wouldn't be here. And I told y'all, I'm not here just by a coincidence. God bless me, and he made this event, he made this night just for me.
World. The temptation for Terence Crawford to keep adding to his legacy must be burning hotter than ever. For fans, it's bittersweet. We crave more nights like this, more masterclasses where skill and dominance meet under the brightest lights. Yet at the same time, we want to preserve his brilliance, to see his legacy untouched rather than risked. Crawford now stands at a crossroads, and whichever path he takes will define how history remembers him. Teofimo Lopez cut through the noise with brutal clarity. What more do you need? We just witnessed greatness. Crawford didn't merely edge the fight, he owned it. Two elite fighters took massive risks, but only one rose above. For Teofimo, there's no real case for a rematch. This wasn't a fight filled with controversy or unanswered questions. It was confirmation. Canelo had his chance and came up short. Crawford had his moment and seized it with both hands. Unless Bud himself decided.
What's he doing?
What do you think of it? Do you want Crawford to retire or you want him to continue?
You guys push that back a little bit. Hey, he's doing well.
Decides to run it back. The boxing world doesn't need it. He owes no one anything. He's earned the right to steer his career wherever he pleases. Sean Porter brought another important layer to the conversation. He reminded everyone that fights aren't just about skill, they're about intangibles. the unseen factors that separate the good from the great. Crawford wasn't only sharper technically, he was mentally untouchable, calm under pressure, unbreakable in spirit. That's what truly broke Canelo. Yes, Canelo's chin held up, but what does it matter when you keep walking into punches that drain your belief as much as your body? Crawford didn't just beat Canelo physically. He dismantled his rhythm, his confidence, his aura. This was a psychological victory, as much as a physical one. Bud thrived on that invisible battlefield, and Canelo had no answer. Devin Haney shut down any talk of Crawford's performance.
Saw a great fight tonight, did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford.
Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said.
No, it was pretty, it was really good, actually.
Yeah.
So it's up to the jam.
Performance being an upset. To casual fans, the result may have seemed shocking, but to true boxing insiders, this was always within Crawford's grasp. Bud fought the perfect fight, dictating tempo, neutralizing threats, and executing with surgical precision. That's not luck, that's mastery. Haney's point cuts deep. What more is left for Crawford to prove? He's unified divisions, conquered multiple weight classes, and dismantled one of the sport's biggest icons. Financially secure, historically secure, legacy secure. He's achieved it all. Yet this is the paradox of greatness. Fighters rarely walk away when they should. Crawford still looks far too sharp, far too dominant to consider stopping now. Fans are torn between two desires: to see him continue writing history, or to have him retire on top, untouchable and complete. This night wasn't just another headline event. It was a turning...
Skills paying the bills with this one, man. I think that there's some intangibles with this fight that are internal, you know, the stuff you don't see. And like, for an example, we can talk about Canelo's chin. Is it that he just really has this chin that's really sturdy? Or is it that he has a chin that's sturdy, but he also has a mentality that I won't go down? You know what I mean? Like, that's when I mean, like, internal intangibles. And I think that both these guys possess a tremendous amount of skill, talent, abilities that, you know, to the naked eye, you just don't...
Point in boxing history. If Crawford continues fighting, he could cement himself as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters ever. A man who crossed divisions and humbled a superstar like Canelo with cold, calculated brilliance. If he retires now, he leaves as the king who walked away at the peak, undefeated in aura and legacy. For Canelo, the road ahead is far murkier. This fight wasn't just about skill, it was about internal intangibles. The things you don't always see. His chin held up, yes. But was it pure toughness, or was it sheer refusal to go down? That mentality has always been his edge. Now, after such a